صدایی بود. دوستان خوش آمدید به ویدیو جدید. امروز قراره گیم پلی بازی میدنایت اویل اگه اشتباه نکنم بریم. قبل از اینکه شروع کنیم بهتون بگم من این گیمو رفتم ولی رکورد نشد متاسفانه. ولی همین از صفحه اشتباه کنم 13-14 شروع میشه این گیم و ادامه‌شه. پس یعنی از اول نیست. از صفحه 14 و 13 کتاب قراره بخونیم. قبل ویدیو لایک و سابسکرایبتون نرو، بریم سراغ ویدیو. لیتس گو. میدنایت اویل. امیدوارم گیم باحالی باشه. اینجوری شنیدم خیلی خفنه.
Maggie O'Brien's funeral was just what anyone would expect. Everyone did their best to comfort the grieving parents. Colin kept to himself. Everyone assumed it was because he blamed himself. After his sister had been laid to rest, I came to him to ask him how he was doing. He looked up at me, eyes red from either crying, lack of sleep, and said,
اگه صدایی اومد
eyes red from either crying, lack of sleep, or a combination of the two, and said,
I really saw them, the little green monsters.
My heart ached. My heart ached.
اینجوری باید نگاه کنی. اگه نگاه نکنی میبازی.
I kept telling myself.
شد.
I kept telling myself that seeing his little sister in pieces couldn't have been easy for him. He was just in The stories of the Earthlings were only told to scare children. That was all.
من اشتباه شنیدم.
The first thing my grandmother told me about the Earthlings
با هدفونتون ببینید. قدش چطور بذار.
The green ones had round bellies and piercing blue eyes. She said they could be heard if you walked deep in the swamp at night. They would laugh and sing as they
آهنگ خیلی آدم استرس میده.
Sing as they danced around their tiny camp. They would laugh and sing as they danced around their tiny campfires, which would appear only as tiny flickering lights through the trees. They were the least lethal of the three tribes, but every bit as evil. The red ones were more temperamental and even faster than their green cousins. They didn't sing or dance around campfires, and their celebrations were a bit more gruesome. They preferred to eat children from the inside out. It was even thought by some that they were only red because they were stained. It was even thought by some that they were only red because they were stained by the blood of their victims. Bristle-like hair sprouted from the tops of their heads, and their glowing yellow eyes seemed cold and calculated.
تو چقدر نمکی عزیزم.
Pale Earthlings were in another class altogether. They had white skin and wild, untamed blue hair that flowed out in every direction. The most unsettling thing about them was that they had no eyes at all, yet they somehow were the most keen and efficient killers of the three. Grandmother said that their long, wiry hair could somehow sense the presence and location of children. There were some things that all three tribes had in common. Earthlings preferred to eat after midnight and would only attack if the child didn't make direct eye contact with them. I reassured myself that the O'Brien girl being attacked barely after sunset meant that she had to have been the victim of a wild animal attack.
آهنگ
Few of the
میشنم
men in
چه
the village
جوی
came
داره.
together to hunt down the beast that killed the girl. They came back 2 days later, carrying the carcass of a large wolf. The whole village breathed a sigh of relief, and a big celebration was held.
اوه این چیه؟
The only one besides myself that remained anxious was Colin, looking at his...
چی بود؟ گوشی؟ پنجره باز شد؟ نمیدونم بله.
looking at his face that
ما
night.
کاری نداریم.
I knew that he believed the creatures that killed Maggie were still out there, waiting. He was right.
WIGS FM 98.7 Game Talk.
Hello, darkness. Welcome to the top of the hour. Again, I'm your host, Nick Bloom, filling in for Nate.
Welcome to the game.
That was an interesting hour, I must say. I don't know, Janet. I feel like these kids don't like me. Hey, Janet, do you like me? And she's walking away, folks. Anyway, caller, you're on the air.
Like,
I just had a feeling that was coming. I feel like I'm not as approachable as Nate is. Oh yeah, so anyway, I forgot there's a sponsor slide.
I don't
This
know
last hour.
what.
This one goes out to all you greasy pizza-faced listeners. Are you tired of popping pimples?
Ew, gross.
Do some zits appear over and over and you have to keep popping them?
Gross.
Kind of like that popular video game,
the second
Mobile.
Ranger.
From the creators of Simple Pimple comes the revolutionary cream, Pimple Buster. The all-in-one scientifically formulated pimple-destroying cream. Call 155-PIM-PLES. But hurry, before supplies run out. That's 155-PIM-PLES. You know, Janet, I think Evil Midnight could use some more lacquer inspiration. Something to keep the player on their toes. Or at least that last prank caller could drink some of that Pimple Buster.
Please.
I don't know what it is.
تموم شد. ایوا. کپچر سه چند تا کپچر نمیدونم
Maggie's
من.
mother visited her daughter's grave, discovering something that was more than a little strange. The earth on the grave was disturbed, as if something had clawed its way out. I couldn't help but remember
فقط
what
با
grandmother
هدفون بود
had
که
said
بدون هدفون
about the
قطعا
red
میبازیم.
worms. They would burrow inside their victims and eat their way out. Could it be that we brought a whole tribe of them right into the village without even knowing it? The answer would come soon enough. Jacob McLaren was found torn to shreds in his bed the following morning. Obviously, a wild animal hadn't attacked him inside his own house. Another devastated family and another funeral this soon after Maggie didn't sit well with anyone. Another devastated family and another funeral this soon after Maggie didn't sit well with anyone. The atmosphere became even more tense and uncomfortable.
پنجره بسته شد. حواست پنجره بود گفتم.
I insisted on inspecting Jacob's remains myself just to reassure myself.
چطور میترس نترس.
I insisted on inspecting Jacob's
تو چقدر نمکی
remains myself just to reassure myself that there was nothing hiding inside. Colin approached me afterwards, asking what I was looking for. I told him it was nothing, but he knew better.
You believe me about the monsters, don't you?
His young face was determined as he spoke.
You're the only one that doesn't look at me like I'm crazy.
I swallowed.
یه جای صدا میومد مطمئنم. کجا بود من نمیدونم. نبازیم فقط.
I swallowed hard, started to deny it, but the words caught in my throat, and as much as I tried, I couldn't lie. Listen, I put my hands on his shoulders. I don't think you're crazy, but we need to be sure of what we're dealing with before we spark a full-blown panic. Tell me exactly what happened. Colin took a deep breath, working up his nerve.
It was so dark, but I had a good torch. I called her name.
وای تموم شد دیگه.
I called her name over and over. She didn't answer. Then I heard something. It sounded like chewing.
یا قاشق تو لیوان انگار میچرخه. صدایی اومد.
Took a few more.